What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 142. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick, as always. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
As always. I'm doing great, man.
Good. How was
Sorry for my
Huh?
Sorry, my video keeps messing up. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just saw it kind of like lagged for a second.
Yeah, it's weird. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, how was your week this week?
It was great, dude. It's nice because now we just confirmed that the owners of the house, or the previous owners of the house,
Yeah.
are now gone.
Okay, sweet.
We are going over there early in the morning tomorrow. We're gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and get on over there.
So this will be your first time going since you guys got it?
Sorry, I have this like external USB converter thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's starting to go out on me.
Okay. Like a USB hub or something like that?
Yeah, USB hub.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I use it for work as well.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a bunch of stuff plugged into it, so yeah, so it's in some problems, but we're gonna persevere. While I'm fiddling with this, Harrison, how's your week?
It was good. We second week of my new job, just going through training and all that good stuff. So that's cool. We kind of were anticipating the hurricane coming through because we were going to get a little bit of it. The kind of like the aftermath, which we did. So like Thursday, I cleaned up the yard real good. Got all like Kellen's toys and stuff put up. Just kind of straightened everything up. Anything that I could think that could fly away, I put it up and stuff like that. And then Friday. I mean, Friday it about noon, 1 o'clock. I mean, Thursday was like super windy, like all day, very ominous. And then Friday, pretty much the whole evening, it was pretty much nonstop, like wind and rain and stuff. But no, I mean nothing crazy. We had a few limbs fall. Just got out there Saturday afternoon and blew off the deck and the driveway and stuff. But yeah, typical weekend. Friday I picked up Bayonetta on the Switch.
Oh, you found it?
I did find it. Yep. Brittany had gone out, and I was like, hey, because she was going to Target to get something for Kellen, and I was like, hey, see if they got Bayonetta there. And she's like, okay. And she FaceTimed me and she couldn't see it. And I said, well, it just came out today. Maybe, maybe they haven't put it out yet or something like that. I mean, it was like 5 o'clock, so I don't know why they wouldn't. But, I was like, hey, you just go ask the person. And they were like, Bayonetta 3, that comes out October 28th. And I said, no. Bayonetta just released on the Switch. And the guy behind whoever was talking was like, oh, yeah, it did come out today. But they didn't have any copies. And she was like, well, GameStop's like right around the corner. Do you want me to go? And I said, if you brought it up, so if you want to go ahead. So she went and they had it, and then they had Bayonetta 2 used for like $40. I was like, go ahead and pick that up too, because I'm gonna play that.
Get yourself something nice for me.
Yeah, and then I got the two excuse me, the two Callie and Marie amiibo pack for like Splatoon.
Wow.
So.
All this vicarious shopping you did.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even planning on getting it. She's like, look at this. I was like, oh, pick that up too. Add it to the list. So yeah, I guess kind of just to jump into what we've been playing is I've been playing Bayonetta. This is my now third time starting the game. I started when it first came out, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Right.
And didn't quite get into it. And then I played it a few months ago. I bought it on sale with like Vanquish as like a combo pack. And I played about 4 hours and then just stopped for whatever reason. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if there's another game. I'm sure it was another game. But I booted up it now. And I'm about 5 or so hours in. So I'm beyond
you're
where I was before. So I'm experiencing new things now. And it's really cool because the one on Switch, you get like different costumes and stuff. You get like a ridiculous looking Link costume, but it's cool because when you open chests in the game, it'll do like the dun 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 dun, and then like when you're collecting the coins, they're actually rupees, and it makes like the rupee sound. So it's pretty cool. But they've also got
awesome.
like a Princess Peach skin, and I think it's Zelda. They
Skin?
have a Metroid skin too. So
You
I
mean
don't
an
know,
outfit, Harrison?
huh?
You mean an outfit?
Outfit,
Not a
yeah. Sorry, not a
skin.
skin. Sorry,
You little
Fortnite.
Fortnite boy.
Yeah, little Fortnite. Um, Speaking of, I did play some Fortnite this week. They dropped the Xenomorph skin from
Oh,
Aliens, and
cool.
I had
Very
to pick
cool.
that up. So, anyways, I played a little bit of that, but yeah, Bayonetta is really awesome. I didn't even before I didn't even realize that. I guess I just didn't mess around with like the different weapons and stuff because you get like a sword
Mhm.
in the game, which is an actual Master Sword, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then you have like shotguns and stuff, and like there's like these like beast claw things. So I just didn't mess with that stuff before. I don't know why, because it's not something that I could really
Sick,
miss.
man.
Because you collect it like through like the vinyl, like the LPs or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I know Bayonetta's an old game, but yeah, it's really good. Like the combat feels really good. Um, it definitely is of its time because there are certain scenarios like where you have to do like quick time events, which if you miss a button, it'll kill you. Um,
Yep. There's
which
a lot of that.
which I am totally against. Like when a cutscene happens, like Xenoblade, I want to be able to put the controller down and watch it.
Just watch it.
But with Bayonetta, it's either sometimes it's a cutscene, like straight on cutscene, and sometimes it'll turn into like a quick time event, and you don't know the difference. So that's a little frustrating. Um, it's also like it gets pretty hard after a few hours in. Like if you don't have like health
Yeah.
items and stuff, like you will die. Um, Luckily the checkpoints aren't like awful or anything, so you don't have to necessarily worry about that. But yeah, I'm really liking. I'm excited to see what Bayonetta 2 looks like. Because Bayonetta 1
Mhm.
doesn't look awful on the Switch. Like it actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah. Bayonetta 2 looks a lot better
Okay.
from what I remember. I played through one on the Switch as well, and I really enjoyed the additions, like
Yeah.
all the Zelda stuff, all the Metroid stuff. Like it was a good it was a good release on the Switch
Yeah.
with
Yeah, no,
that kind of like
it
combo pack.
runs like 60 frames a second. Like it feels really good.
Yeah.
Um so I don't know. When you have stuff like Kingdom Hearts that's just cloud, it's like, come on, man. Come on. You could put it on the Switch.
Yeah, especially when they're putting out Near
Yeah, which
later this week.
I
I'm like,
might pick that up too.
dude, I've been watching some reviews, and I played like 10 hours of it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it was like last year or earlier this year, and for some reason I never went back to it. But like,
Hmm.
of course with the Switch, like I'm gonna play it way more than I did on the Xbox. That's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the effect, the Switch effect.
But yeah, I got both of
Yeah,
those. Definitely gonna. I mean, I've got plenty of time to beat them before Bayonetta 3 comes out. So
they're like 10 to 12 hours.
yeah, I
They're
think
not
I'm
that long.
probably about pretty close to. Well, yeah, probably pretty close to maybe probably more than halfway of the game. But really good. Like
Mhm.
the it's over the top. Like like Bayonetta is
Right.
such a fun character. Like she's so over the top and ridiculous, and it's kind of like Xenoblade. It's like like watching an anime. It's ridiculous. Um, it's funny because like obviously like the Link costume is not super revealing. So whenever they do like the
Yeah.
butt shots and stuff like it's kind of funny because like in like in the actual outfit you're like okay sure whatever. But the Link costume is it's just ridiculous because they even do the cutscenes with Link, so it's extra hilarious.
And she's
Um,
just like she's so like tall and just like it's so different than Link, where
yeah,
it looks so like it's almost like off-putting, but it's awesome at the same time.
it is very weird looking. I'll give you that. It's like yeah, because her
Yeah,
legs are like longer than her whole body. Like it's really weird. Like
right.
her, it's like
The
she's like a
proportions are
monstrous
unrealistic.
woman. Like her and Lady D from
Yeah,
Resident Evil are like the same size. It's ridiculous, but yeah, it's a really fun game. Can't wait to see what 2 has to offer and how different that is, and then going into 3. I just learned today that the 3 is it's a different voice actress. So than
oh, is
Bayonetta
it?
1. Yeah, it's a bit different voice actress, but so I didn't know that. But yeah, super excited to get into 2 once I'm done with 1. But yeah,
Yeah,
really
I'm
awesome game.
excited to hear your thoughts. I played 2 before I played 1.
Okay.
So kind of the opposite experience, but I really did enjoy going back to 1. I
Okay.
still think 2 is better,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed 1.
Cool.
It's great
Good to hear.
games. Great games.
And then the other game I think I talked about it a little bit last week, but I finished Deathloop.
Quick.
Dude, what a game, man! I can see why it won Game of the Year with some outlets last year. Like it is really awesome. Like once I got through like the first loop, like the full day cycle, and you go back and then you find out, okay, you can actually save your weapons and save like the trinkets and stuff and save the slabs. That changed the game because at first I was like, I don't know if I want to have to like pick up the radio every single time, grab the knife, grab the gun. You know, they kind of after like the first few loops, like you can just get to hold that stuff, which is really nice. I didn't really have much problems with the game. I learned very quickly that if you kill a visionary, just go ahead and reset the loop so that way you can save the slab. Because I think I killed a visionary and then I tried to go kill. I went into the next part of the day and tried to kill another visionary, but ended up dying. And I had to restart, and I lost the slab and stuff like this. And the slab is, for people that don't know, it's like the ability you get. Like there's like telekinesis where you can like push or whatever. You can push enemies. You can like I can't remember what I think it's Aether is like you can go like slightly invisible or invisible. So there's different like variations you can try out, but I learned very quickly that you need to if you get a slab, go ahead and reset.
Yeah, it's one of those games like where you're going for those 8 visionaries, but you're like killing one at a time until you want to do them all, and then you're like,
okay. There's 2 really kind of options. Like you can go for killing just the visionaries because they'll all be at an area where you can kill them. And the main goal of the game is trying to find like places where you can find them together, like grouped up together and stuff like that. So that's what you're doing throughout the game. But you can either just choose to go for the slabs, which is recommended. It tells you to kill them, and then you can get their stuff, and then you can save it, and then you'll have an easier time. Or you can kind of follow the storyline that's kind of put out there for you, and you can do like investigation and again finding out where they're going to be at certain times of the day, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really really great game. The shooting did eventually click with me. It did take a while, as with all Arcane games. It just their shooting is just not like Halo. It's not like Call of Duty. It's very slower paced.
Feels heavy.
Feels very heavy. Yeah. There was one part of the game, Nick, and you probably know what I'm talking about, where you have to go to this power station and you have to like activate the power 3 separate times, and you have to go to a different like part of the day 3 separate times. And maybe I did it wrong, but I think you have to do it. So you have to like go to this one map on the part of the day like 3 or 4 times. And it's pretty tedious. And that was the only
end, right?
Huh?
Is it near the end?
It's near the end.
Yeah, that's where I kind of started to get burnt out.
You're trying to get like parts of a password or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only time I really felt it to be tedious. Except the only other time I felt, because the maps aren't like huge or anything like that, but whenever you had to go, and I think it was an up dam, but you have to go across like the bridge to like that guy that has like the gaming area. You have to go to his place like a few times, and it's just kind of annoying to have to go through the whole shooting thing every single time.
Because that one's littered with enemies.
Yeah, it's got tons of enemies.
You can kind of go, if you have the warp ability, you can go up to the left.
Yeah, you can.
Kind of avoid a lot of it, but you have to go back there a few times.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets tedious. Like there was a lot of moments near the end of that game where like I was going to one place for 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to another place and do another short thing. And I feel like I don't know if they should have just cut that out at the end, or if they like ran out of development time, and we're just like, okay, we're gonna put this in to kind of pad it out a little bit more before you get to the end of the game. But that's the point where I thought it fell off. But overall, I thought it was a great game. Like, I really enjoyed kind of that mystery and that kind of like investigation of like, hey, like, how can I get as many people as possible together at once so I can, kind of take the optimal route throughout these 4 maps and knock everybody out in one go.
Yeah, and then I think it was at nighttime within Updam where I can't remember his name. It's like, I don't know, he's the guy with the mask. But if you ever got exposed, he would leave, and you would have to restart the loop, and that got kind of annoying. But also, whenever I did like the in game part where there's multiple people with him at his party, I killed 2 of them, but he stayed. So like, I didn't really understand why he didn't. Well, I'm glad he didn't, because that would have made me mad. Because that was literally like the last like part before you go on to like the final part of the game. But he stayed, so like that was kind of weird. But also, I didn't really care just because I didn't want him to leave.
I think I had the same thing happen because like there was no way I was going to do that area stealthily. Like at a certain point, I was just like, all right, I'm going in, guns blazing.
Yeah, there's certain parts.
There's just too much.
Yeah, there were certain times where like, I don't know, I thought I was hidden, but I wasn't. I don't know. But for the most part, the game worked for me. I really enjoyed it. It was a really great game, and it's on Game Pass now. So if you guys haven't played it, check it out. Give it like I said, give it like the first like full loop where you do like morning, noon, afternoon, and night, and then after that, you'll know what you're kind of getting into. But yeah, really cool game.
Yeah, because a lot of people like are probably put off by the time loop aspect of it.
Yeah,
but it's really not that much. Like,
I mean, it's not like a roguelike, so it's not like things are changing. No. Whatever the enemies are in the map, they're going to be there. They have like some enemies will just stand there. Some enemies have like their little routes that they take. So you can really, and they're really not that big, so you can find like the optimal route to go and make it like Nick said, like sometimes we'll be in a map for like 60 seconds and then you get out of there. So it just depends.
Yeah, so it's a really great game. It seems like you liked it a little bit more than I did. But
yeah,
I mean, I really enjoyed it when I played it earlier this year, last year, I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think it was this year. But yeah, it's a really great game.
Yeah,
I mean, it's on Game Pass, so check it out. It's a long time coming. This is one of those games that we thought was going to come out like in 2020. Thought it was going to come out on PS5 in 2020, and then it got pushed, and that means the Xbox exclusivity got pushed another year. So glad it's finally out, and that means that means Ghostwire Tokyo is going to come out.
Is that for sure coming out to Xbox?
It's for sure coming to Xbox.
Okay.
Because it's
came out in what, March? When did that come out?
Yeah, it was March.
Okay, so we should see it sometime next year, I would imagine.
But we probably won't hear about it until like it's out.
It'll be like the Deathloop was. Yeah. But hey, next week it's out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because their deal with Sony, I guess you can't market it until it's the week of.
Yeah, that's just the way they deal. I mean, that's understandable. Which I want to play. I mean, I didn't hear great things about Ghostwire.
I still want to play it.
I still want to play it though, because I mean, I really liked. I liked the Evil Within 1 and 2. Like those games are great, especially the second one.
It was really good. That was a surprise.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens to that. But Nick, you've been playing some old school stuff.
I have, man. I've been taking a step back in time. So after we finished gushing about the 3DS last week, I picked up my 3DS, and I saw that of course I had Fire Emblem Sacred Stones on there from the 3DS Ambassadors program.
Nice.
So started playing that and finished it last week. Played through Erica's story, And it's not as long as the other Fire Emblems. This one took me about like 17 hours, and granted, I've played it countless times, but God, it's such a fun game. It's just it still holds up. Like it didn't really feel archaic. I only had to restart the chapter like twice.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's just such a great game. Like those GBA games just hold up incredibly well with the pixel art.
It's almost like they should do like a remake of them. That'd be amazing.
Oh my god! If they did a remake or just like a collection,
but you don't have to do you don't even have to do it like you did Zelda. I can never remember that game. That Link's Awakening. Jesus, man, I can never remember that game. That game's name.
Just remember it.
I can't. I got it right here now, so I can just turn around and see it. But yeah, if they threw it in like just like a little collection, that'd be so awesome.
Like all they need to do, localize 6, which is the game with Roy.
Yeah,
it's one of the other GBA games, and then put it out with 7 and 8. That's a damn good collection right there.
Yeah, put like $40, $30, something like that. Yeah, that's easy money.
So I played through that, and then I was just like starting to look at like older Fire Emblem games that I haven't played. And I was on the YouTube looking down the rabbit hole. I'm just kind of hyped for Engage.
I am very excited for that. I mean, granted, I have the stupid special edition pre-order, but yeah, I'm really excited just because like I don't know, Three Houses just it sounded so
it's superfluous in the management side of it.
Yeah, like it almost that, and it almost felt like Xenoblade to me for a moment because I know how long it takes to beat that game, and it just felt kind of overwhelming to know that kind of like why I never played like Persona or something like that. Just I know those games take for like so long to beat, and I just don't want to invest all that time in Three Houses. Was kind of the same way. I love like the gameplay of Fire Emblem, but yeah, just knowing that there's 3 different routes and stuff, like I don't know.
That's a tough one because I really really love the gameplay way more than I do the stories in these games, and Three Houses is very story heavy, and of course like in between the chapters you're going around the monastery and you're talking to all your students, you're collecting items, you're doing a bunch of stuff in between these chapters, and that's not really the case with the pretty cut and dry in that regard. Can you still hear me all right?
Your voice kind of went out for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna move a USB over.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't played a Fire Emblem game in so long. It's just I had to pre-order the edition, man. These special editions got me. I wish I would have got in on Xenoblade, but it is what it is.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Did you switch cameras?
Maybe my USB hole is getting loose in my MacBook.
That's a possibility. Yeah, if it's causing like a connection issue, that may be it.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so I'm excited for Engage because it doesn't seem like it has all of that like in between chapter stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was looking back at the older Fire Emblems that I haven't played. Like I've played 1, I've played 2, or I played like their remakes, and I haven't played 3, 4, or 5. And 4 is Genealogy of the Holy War. I don't know if you've heard of this one before, but
never.
It's it was a Japan only release, and there's some English patches that I had to download to get it running on an emulator. But this one's a lot different because the chapters and the maps are huge. Like in one chapter, like normally you'd go across the map and seize a castle and that's it. With this one, you are going across the map, seizing a castle here, and then one like all the way over here.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's pretty huge. Like the prologue chapter took me about 2 hours to beat. And another part that like I think is really cool is the map. It's very cohesive. So like I ended up at a castle at the end of the prologue, and then to start chapter 1, I started at that castle and I was going south. So I went like west to this castle that I was trying to seize, and then I started at that castle when I was going south. So it's like it's a lot different than other Fire Emblems where like you're suddenly at a new location and now you have to do this map and then you're at this location. It's like you like this feels like you are traveling a continent.
Okay, that's cool.
A country. And yeah, it's really cool. It's like it's a little dated, of course, because it's a 1990s game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm torn because I've been hearing that this game is going to get remade next because it's kind of next in line to get remade. So like I'm torn between like whether I want to finish it or not.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean,
there's just something about those old, especially the GBA Fire. There's just something so special about those games. Like you're right. Like there's very minor, like, I mean, in between like maps, like it's maybe 5 minutes of like text and stuff like that. Yeah, man, it's so good.
It doesn't waste your time.
No.
Other than like you maybe having to restart a map because you lost a unit that you really loved.
Yeah.
It really cuts to it, and that's something that I kind of felt was lost on Three Houses. And I still love that game, but just like the thought of going in and replaying it, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta talk to all these students between every chapter.
I mean, now's a good time. There's nothing else really out.
Well, yeah.
I guess Nier's like the next thing.
Yeah, I'm like probably gonna get Nier at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone has any tips on genealogy of the Holy War, let me know on Twitter. Gaming WT Bros on Twitter. Yeah, I'm looking to get into it more. I know it's very different compared to the other Fire Emblems, but yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a lot of older games this week.
Awesome.
I gotta get my old game fix in before all this new stuff comes out this month.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. Yeah. You want to go ahead and dive into the news?
Let's do it.
Cool. So Google announced that Stadia is dead or is dying. Was it I think in early January?
Yeah,
is when they're shutting the service down. And interesting.
All purchases.
That's very interesting. I think yes, it makes Google look really good. That it's just failed hardware, failed software, whatever, failed concept. But B, I think it gets them out of a lot of legal trouble, too, as well, because of people, purchasing stuff and whatever the case is. And I know a lot of companies are looking into trying to get the saves and stuff over from Stadia, like Destiny and some other stuff, over to like that way they can access their stuff on another, if they purchase it again or whatever the case is, on another platform, which is really cool because that does suck. Because I mean, if you only had Stadia and we were playing Destiny and had 200 hours of Destiny, that sucks. That would get lost. So hopefully they can get that straightened out before Stadia closes down. I don't know. I liked the idea of Stadia. I think I tried it a little bit, and it worked fine. I just don't know. I don't know.
It was always off-putting to me, and I never really liked Stadia specifically because it's a streaming service, but you have to buy the games.
Right.
Whereas, like, you paid a monthly subscription to have access to all these games on Stadia, that would be a lot different. But with this one, you still have to buy Destiny at $60, and all you can do is stream it via the cloud.
Is Destiny not free on Stadia?
Oh well, it probably is at this point.
It probably wasn't free to play when they switch everything over. But yeah, if they had launched it as like a Game Pass service, even if you could only stream it and you couldn't download, I think it would have been a lot better. But I don't know what they were thinking with this thing. It just didn't make a lot of sense. And even like Amazon's like Luna, like I don't really know how well that's doing for them.
I don't think it's doing well at all. I haven't heard about that in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know if they've shut it down or not. That's, I don't know.
Did you ever subscribe to that?
No, I did like a free trial.
Okay.
And it was kind of the same way. Like it worked, but
yeah,
I mean it worked just fine, but it wasn't anything special. And I think it was just kind of like Stadia where you have to buy the games. I think they gave you some stuff. I'm pulling it up right now just to look at it.
But there's no incentive to play on Stadia versus playing on PlayStation or Xbox. Like, why would you silo yourself into only being able to stream? And I get it; it's like a cheaper system, but you're still buying the games.
Yeah,
I would rather pay an extra few $100 to have a system that can play games offline as well as streaming them. So it just seemed like a broken business model from the start.
Yeah. The second they announced, you had to because you had to pay a fee, like a monthly fee, plus you have to purchase the games. So it's not like it was a free service and you buy the games. It was, and I think they had some free games, like once a month or something like that, kind of like Xbox Live Gold, but
they didn't have any exclusives, really.
No really exclusives. I don't think the free games were like really great. Like there were games that have been free on other platforms and stuff. So yeah, I think it was just kind of doomed to start. I don't know, but hey, I guess I'm glad everyone's getting their money back. That's pretty cool. I don't know. That's, man. I don't know how they can. I mean, I know Google's a big company, but that's a lot of money to give back.
Well, I mean, depending on how many people did it.
Yeah, that is true.
Actually went into the ecosystem, which who knows?
No, are they refunding everything, like every game purchase, every monthly fee? Okay. Well, I guess you got to. Yeah, I doubt the fee. Yeah, I don't think you'll get the fee back
because that's like, you cancel Netflix, you don't get.
Yeah.
You don't get refunded.
Yeah, I think you'll probably get if you bought like a controller or something, maybe controller, any sort of because obviously it's going to be obsolete. Like you can't use it, so that makes sense. So any devices that went into Stadia, you'll probably get reimbursed for. In games too. I imagine you can't play those. But yeah, that's. I mean, I don't think anybody. I don't know anybody that has ever even used Stadia. I haven't even heard the word Stadia in probably over a year, so I don't know. Not a surprise.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if we hear the same thing about Luna.
Yeah,
in a year.
Amazon's kind of like Twitch itself isn't doing well for them. They just had we didn't talk about it, but they kind of adjusted their contracts to where they don't care if you stream at other places, because so many streamers were leaving to go to YouTube, or like Ninja, he's just restreaming. He's multi-stream on everything. So, yeah, I think Amazon's also in trouble with their gaming stuff too. But yeah, obviously Amazon can if they want to sell Twitch, they totally can. They don't need Twitch.
They'll be all right.
They're massive, but but Nick, kind of I guess the big topic of the show is I'm just going to call them leaks because I'm for sure that this is happening. But Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remake
or a remat. I don't know what to call it. Do you call it a remake? Do you call it a remaster? I'm sure
they'll call it a remake. I'm sure they will. So? Maybe. I mean, I genuinely don't understand this move if it comes to fruition, which I think it will. But
so I've been thinking about it. Do you think it's just one of those $10 upgrades, kind of like with Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut?
But they already have that though. They already have they already have an up-res version on PS5. Yeah, for Horizon.
Oh, they did a 60 FPS patch?
Yeah, they did. I don't know. I don't think they charge people for it, but it's already got a boost on PS5. So
it's already benefited from the hardware.
It's already benefited. And the game's 5 years old.
So what would they do in this case? Up-res it?
I think they're just gonna like, yeah, I think they're just probably gonna up-res it. There are screenshots of like Aloy, like her hair is got a lot more detail, stuff like that. Like some of the jewelry, whatever you want to call it, she's wearing is a lot more detailed.
Are these leaked images?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I don't get it. Like I because it's already got like who's clamoring for this?
Are they going to charge $70 for it?
I'm sure they will.
I mean, I guess they have to, right?
I think they're so. I think with this, as part of like the leaks or rumors, whatever you want to call it, they're going to be adding like co-op to it, so like you can fight the robot dinosaurs, or whatever. Kind of like a not a raid, but I don't know. I think like a horde mode or something like that.
Okay.
Or you can team up to maybe fight like a really high level monster or something like that. So kind of cool. I mean, that's like Monster Hunter-esque, whatever.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that, at least they're adding something new to the game versus just a up-res. But again, the game's 5 years old. It looked great when it launched. I don't know why they're. I mean, it's their money to blow, but why would you? I would rather them remaster something else, like some of their older stuff,
like Bloodborne.
Yeah, where's Bloodborne? Where's like? Can we get like a up-res version of Bloodborne at least? You know, like 60 frames per second, blah, whatever. Like, where's that at?
I'm wondering who wants this, because anyone with a PS5, they're benefiting from having. They're benefiting when having Zero Dawn. Like it's getting the 60 frames. It's probably getting up-resed to a degree. Performance is better.
Yeah.
Like how else can you package that and sell it for a premium? Like it's one thing to do like Death Stranding and have like a $10 upgrade path and kind of like try to give it new life.
Yeah.
On the PS5, and especially like filling in like a period of time where they didn't have many releases. Like that's what that game, that's what Ghost of Tsushima kind of filled in. But with this, it's like it's just not really necessary. You just had Forbidden West come out. Like I doubt people are clamoring to play this huge open world RPG again.
Yeah, I would play Last of Us Part 1 again before I played. Like I have zero, and I really liked Horizon. I have zero interest going back and playing that again. And you know they're going to charge $70 for it. You know they will.
Dude, Jimbo.
Man,
Jimbo's bad, dude.
Yeah, he's running that. He's running PlayStation to the ground at this point. I mean,
I don't know if they're going to run it to the ground, but
maybe not. You know, they've had record success with the PS5. Like whatever. Like money wise, they're fine, but like
reputation wise,
you know, you put out the Last of Us remake, and you have your brown nosers. You have the fans that are going to justify whatever you put out. And if they do this again and they put out this Horizon game and it's and again, this is leaks, rumors, whatever, and if they put it out, definitive edition, $70, and people buy it, like at some point, like people have got to vote with their wallet and make this stuff not okay. A 5-year-old game is getting a remake, like man, like what's next? Are they going to do Ghost of Tsushima? Is that next? Are they going to do Spider-Man? Like,
well, they already did Spider-Man.
Did they? I don't know.
When they released Miles Morales, they did a Spider-Man remaster.
Yeah, but now they'll do a remake. Like, where does the line get drawn on this stuff? Like, it's crazy. It just
surprised God of War hasn't gotten.
That'll honestly probably be next. If this is true, whatever. Like we could see that come out like, you know, within a few, like, you know, sometime next year or something. Like, oh, God of War 2018 remaster remake.
It feels like they're kind of creatively bankrupt right now. they really don't have anything outside of the PS4 era, and they're kind of like riding the coattails of Sean Layden, who kind of like set up the PS4's legacy.
Yeah, I mean,
And now that's kind of all they have is like, okay, what can we do from what we did on the PS4? That's what it feels like.
yeah, I don't know. It's from a company that is just not believe in generations. They're still supporting the PS4, which I get it. They can only put out so many PS5s, but there's also really no PS5 games. Say what you want about Xbox. Obviously, Xbox is way worse in situation with exclusives, but
Yes.
PlayStation really hasn't had much. I mean, on the PS5 itself, but
You could argue that Xbox doesn't have any games to remake.
this is true. This is very. I mean, they could still do like Gears, like all I'm saying is next year tides are going to be they're going to change, and as far as
What do you think? You think so? Like, what is Xbox has? What, Starfield, Redfall, and those are both new IP. So that's like you just don't know. You don't know if those are going to be hits. I mean, obviously Starfield's going to sell well, but Redfall, you never know. It could end up like that other like the zombie game that came out last year.
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood.
Yeah,
Could end up like that.
let's just say tides could change next year.
Tides could change.
So I don't know. It just I think you're right. I think just creatively they're not quite sure what to do. Their Game Pass competitor isn't. I mean, it's not a competitor. I don't know.
Well, let me just tell you this. I'm not moving until the end of the month officially, but I've already packed up my PS5.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna play right now?
Nothing until God of War.
Yeah.
Everything else is either coming to Game Pass or coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sorry we're dogging on Sony so much, but like honestly, with how Jim Ryan is running it, they kind of deserve it. And I know this is just a leak. It's not it's not gospel yet.
Yeah.
But
it's highly likely. It's
highly
I think
likely.
we're good.
I mean,
I
was wondering if it was leaks.
I did see something on Twitter. It was like, I really hope that Nintendo does a remaster of Breath of the Wild to mess with them.
Yeah, they can't catch a break with Horizon.
Yeah,
I'm out near Breath of the Wild and right near Elden Ring.
I wonder if this has to do with like Horizon sales. Like maybe they're just, it didn't sell well. It didn't sell as well as they wanted it to. Kind of like The Last of Us. Only selling like probably a little over 10. Well, they're probably selling more than that by now. But last I heard, it was about at 10 million, and for the game that was just the greatest game of all time, like you only sold 10 million. But
I mean, it was our game of the year.
Yeah, it was. So,
but it's not selling more than Luigi's Mansion 3. So
yeah, and you have over 100 million consoles out there. So like, they maybe 10% of your base has the game or purchased the game. Again, I think most of the people that have PlayStations play Call of Duty, and that's it. Like they play like.
My take.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When all this stuff goes down and Call of Duty officially goes over, if they do, I think people will move. I don't think people necessarily care about PlayStation like that. Otherwise, we would see it in the numbers. We would see like
go on Twitter. People.
Oh well, yeah. Well, they're the brown nosers. They're the ones that are either they'll praise anything that Sony does, and justify anything that they do. But yeah.
Yeah, if I ever see a profile picture on Twitter that has either the Xbox logo or the PlayStation logo like behind their head somewhere, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to trust anything they say.
Yeah,
it's a moot point.
I don't know.
That's fun.
Yeah,
and kind of, and this was also leaked like earlier today, but apparently Outer Worlds is also getting a remake/remaster, and that was a 2019 game. So I know that's kind of on the Xbox side since they own
Yeah.
Obsidian, but that also feels unnecessary being an open world game
Yeah.
that at
Which
this
and
point has been
I
on
didn't
everything.
play. I didn't finish Outer Worlds, but I guess to justify it, it's going to be on Game Pass, so it's going to be free. But and they'll probably bundle in all the DLC and stuff like that as well. So again, I'm not taking sides or anything, but it'll be free. It'll be free, right? Right? Quote
Who
unquote
knows?
free. Yeah. But I
No,
mean,
you have a point.
who knows? I don't know.
But what about it coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5? Or I guess it would just come to PS5. But
Outer
what about
Worlds.
that? Would that be $70? Would that be free
I don't think they put it
PlayStation
out on
5?
PS5. I think they.
I think they would.
You think so? I mean, I know
Yeah,
it
I mean,
came. It was on
I know
PS4
two is,
before, prior to
I know
the.
2 is just coming to the
Yeah.
Xbox, but
But then, why would they? Well, I guess unless they put it out prior to 2, and then PlayStation
kind of
people get it and they're like, oh, this game's there's a second one. Oh, it's Xbox exclusive. All right, let me get an Xbox. So that could be a marketing strategy, but I don't know. All I'm saying is it's gonna be free, so I don't really care that much about the price. But I also don't think it'll be $70. I don't think Xbox is in the market to charge $70 for a game.
they really haven't, have they?
I don't think there's been one, other than like a special edition. I mean, that's where they've really done it. Is the $100 Gears of War 5 version and play 4 days early or whatever. That kind of garbage, but which is also kind of crummy. But
garbage.
yeah, it's just more extra. Just a different kind of garbage. But Nick, I'm gonna go tuck Kellen into bed. I will be right back.
Okay, I'll be back too.
Any last thoughts on Outer Worlds? I'd probably give it a shot again. If they did do that.
You think so?
I probably. I mean, it really depends on when it comes out and what's kind of near it. But I liked what I played. I just couldn't get into it.
I fell off right when I got to the next area.
I did too. Yeah.
What is it about that spot?
I don't know. I beat it. I saved it, turned it off, and then I just never went back. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. Like I liked it, but also I'm not a big Fallout guy, and it's very much like a Fallout game.
Yeah, it is.
So, and then Nick, you want to talk about the next one, kind of going back to PlayStation real quick.
All right. Just to jump on PlayStation one more time. So Jim Ryan recently flew to Brussels to plead with the EU. He went to the EU's headquarters to plead with them over the Microsoft Activision deal. We obviously don't know what came of that.
Yeah.
But Jimbo's flying around. He's doing everything he can to stop this deal from going through. And
I would
just point I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't
think anything's going to stop it. It's been long, and it's been going through the motions for a while. Like this was announced in January of this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know if anything he says is going to stop it at this point. Just because they've kind of had like not predatory, but they've had.
They've had, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, like they've, Mr. Exclusive himself, like they've been doing exclusive like the entire generation of Call of Duty, like ever since PS4 started. Xbox did the same thing. They had the early maps and stuff like that, so they've had exclusivity for majority of Call of Duty. They also, like you brought up a couple weeks ago, they've paid companies not to put stuff on Game Pass. So like, I mean,
you can't complain about the game when you've been playing the game the same way.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a monopoly. I think there's if Call of Duty was the only first person shooter out there, sure. But there's Battlefield. They have Destiny now. So they've got a really great first person shooter team. Whether they're going to continue with Destiny or do like an original IP. So I think it's going to go through. I think it's going to happen, and it's going to probably finish up sometime early next year. And then that's when Game Pass is going to get crazy because they're just going to drop all the like I'll probably play a lot of Call of Duty because I've missed so many campaigns, like especially.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably jump into the multiplayer for Modern Warfare 2. So
yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm really excited as a gamer, which is like that's how you should be as a gamer. You should be excited about this deal going through because so much of these games are gonna come to Game Pass, if not all of them. Like
yeah, it'll probably be like a slow trickle. Like they probably won't just like dump them, but they'll probably put a lot of stuff.
Like with Bethesda, like they saved a lot of those games for E3.
Yeah.
And they announced like Evil Within, I think like Prey.
Yeah.
And like
it's like all the arcane stuff.
Yeah, and then we'll have like games like Diablo 4.
That looks so good.
That looks really good, and just a bunch of other games that are coming out. But yeah, a whole legacy.
That's what I meant too. Like to my point earlier is like next year is going to be just huge for Xbox. Like with all the Activision Blizzard stuff, and then their new IPs or whatever through Bethesda, and then
hopefully we see Avowed. Hopefully we see Fable.
Fable, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see that. Hopefully, maybe a new Gears, like a Gears 6 gets announced next year.
I gotta see how that story ends.
Yeah, I gotta see how it ends. Maybe we'll get. I mean, if 343 can get their act together, maybe we'll see some campaign stuff for Halo Infinite. So yeah, it's going to be a big year. And then we don't know about Sony either. We don't know what they've got. They've announced Spider-Man and Wolverine, but we don't know when that's coming. So,
yep.
But
yeah. It's gonna be a cool year. Give me a good year.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Halo, another leak, and this one has been kind of confirmed by a few different outlets, I believe. But apparently 343 is switching from the Slipspace engine, which is their proprietary engine for Halo. They're going to switch from that to Unreal Engine 5. Not exactly sure why. I'm guessing it's just easier to develop for. But this could lead to more content. It could lead to the faster release of content. I don't know how it's going to impact the current state of Halo. I don't know if they would transition that entire game over to Unreal. I don't even know how feasible something like that is. I'm obviously not on the development side, but it sounds like a huge undertaking to switch engines like this.
Now, are they? Maybe this is like for future stuff, like not Infinite, because that would be
maybe
if you're switching from Slipspace to I mean you're having to redo everything. So I think this is like going forward. They'll probably if the rumors are correct, going forward, like whatever else they do after Infinite, which Infinite was supposed to be like a
10-year game.
Yeah, like a 10-year, like a really long game. So, but who knows? Who knows with the state of Infinite right now?
Yeah, they're probably scrambling.
Yeah,
at this
which
point.
I mean, it's in like gameplay wise, it's in a fine state. But just gotta get that content out the door. I'm ready for Forge. I'm excited to see what
Forge looks awesome. I've been seeing some really cool creations. Like it looks insane.
Yeah.
Just wish it would have came out earlier. Wish it would have launched with the game.
Yeah, they should. Man, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. And then the last news this week is Sony is reportedly making 2 million PSVR 2 units ready to go for launch. So they're expecting this thing to sell pretty well, I guess.
Yeah,
we still don't.
It sounds reasonable.
Yeah. I mean,
for a VR headset, I mean, I don't know how much the first PSVR sold, but I'm assuming it was like somewhere in the 5 to 10 million range.
I think it was definitely below 10 because I think we probably would have heard about that. I think it was between like 5 and 7. So pretty low compared to like the install base, but it's kind of a niche kind of gadget or whatever. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I mean, we don't know price yet. We don't really know the launch lineup, which I mean, they've got to announce that stuff like pretty within the next like 2 months, I'd imagine. They'll have a state of play for PSVR 2 and show off everything, release date, all that stuff.
Yeah, because it's coming early 2023,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
We don't know the date, but
I'd imagine like February, March, maybe. So yeah, they've got to get out there and get that stuff started. But you know, hopefully this thing doesn't get. I mean, I'm sure it will, but like scalpers, I'm sure it'll be going nuts. Hopefully they. I don't know how they're gonna sell this. I'm sure they'll just send units out to the Target and Best Buy and stuff like that. But
hope for the best.
Yeah, hope for the best. But again, we don't know price. I think it's going to be $600 at least. That's just my opinion, which is.
I think it'll be 500.
You think it'll be 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it can be more expensive than the PS5. I don't think they can pull it off.
But it's Sony. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I don't think they should. I think $600 is ridiculous. But you know, I don't know.
I don't think VR is as big as it was like 2 to 3 years ago.
No.
I think it's less popular now than it was before. I don't think it's expanding the way that people thought it was going to expand.
No, I think they're hoping that people that purchased the PSVR 1 will go into the 2. But again, like my biggest problem with the 1, and I never actually owned it, they didn't have a lot of games for it, like first party stuff. So they didn't really support it that well. So like, why would I trust them to do the same thing? Like obviously the Horizon game looks pretty good, but I don't know.
That's really it, right?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I'm sure.
Well, they have like Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah. Which looks cool. I mean, like Resident Evil 8 in VR looks awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they really got to. Hopefully, they really pour money into like game development because yeah, I don't know. You said you're not really excited for this thing, right? You don't plan on.
No, like I've had enough experiences with VR at this point between the PSVR and the Oculus Quest 2, where it's so novel.
Yeah,
like I'll love it for 2 weeks and then I'll just fall off of it.
Yeah,
like it's too novel. It's too takes up too much space, and maybe that'll change when I get into my house. But like playing in an apartment is like it's terrible.
Yeah,
like I've tried playing in this room, and
it's just for me, it's just too closed off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like
especially with kids.
Yeah, like with kids when I'm gaming, like I can sit here and game, like Kellen come in here and chill, or I can like pause it real quickly. I mean, in the VR you can't too, take whatever, but I don't know. I like to be able to see my surroundings, you know. But that's a me thing. That's not, you know, that's not everyone's like take or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like, and you're right, like too, like if for a lot of people that live in apartments, like you don't have like a 6x6 area that you can kind of spread out in. You know, you're kind of limited to like a very closed off section, which can be kind of challenging when you're swinging your arms around.
Yes, I've hit my arms, and it hurts when you're not anticipating hitting your arm in something.
Yeah, for sure.
The last thing I wanted to bring up is I was looking at that Dead Space poster behind you, but are you excited for the remake trailer tomorrow?
Yep, tomorrow. What, 8 a.m. or something like that? I think it's
8 a.m. PT.
Okay, so 11 here. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it off. It looks. I mean, everything we've seen so far looks incredible.
Between Callisto, and then Resident Evil 4,
I still think Callisto could get delayed.
Good. No, it's not going to get delayed.
I still got a feeling. I got a feeling that it might. But
I don't think they can. I don't think they can afford it. I don't think they can afford to be after RE4 and Dead Space.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I don't know. I just got a feeling, but hopefully I'm wrong. Because I mean that's perfect timing. Like this, like early December. Like nothing else is really around there. Yeah, that's such a good timing for that game. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I'm ready. We got a crazy couple months, Nick, with the gaming.
Yeah,
Mario and Rabbids, Bayonetta 3, Nier this week.
Persona for all the Persona fans.
Persona, a Plague Tale.
Yes.
Call of Duty.
Scorn's coming out early.
Yeah, Scorn. Yeah, Scorn got pushed up a week. It's the 14th, right? October 14th.
Yep.
Which
I'll probably try it.
I'm gonna play it, but that game looks, I don't know.
It looks absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. And then Pokemon. Are you? What's your thoughts on Pokemon right now? Are you still?
I'm less high on it than I was because the more they show of it, the more it seems like Sword and Shield to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless they put out like a banger trailer. I don't know. And I'm really gonna pay attention to like the more obscure reviews.
Yeah.
Versus like IGN, who always ranks it a 9. Always gives it a 9 because they always pick like the biggest Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
To review it, which is fair, but
yeah, I mean, you want somebody that knows it, but also like, I don't know,
is not extremely biased.
Yeah.
Towards it.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, a lot to look forward to in the coming month or so. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the show. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it and appreciate you guys listening live and downloading and all that good stuff. If you guys could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can leave a review at, I actually have no idea, but that would be
Spotify. You can leave one on Spotify.
Okay. Yeah, leave us a review, good or bad. We'll take the criticism and we'll greatly appreciate the praise. So that certainly helps us out tremendously.
It does.
Yeah. And Nick, where can they follow us on our socials?
You can follow us on Twitter at GamingWTBroscast. You can tweet at us any questions or DM us with any questions you want us to answer on the podcast, or just watch us tweet about random stuff. You can email us any questions at gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com. Not Gaming with the Bros Cast. Gaming with the Bros at yahoo.com.
We changed our name at some point.
We did.
It was Bros.
And we kept the email.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Sorry, TikTok, Gaming with the Broscast, and then Instagram, we're also on there.
Yes.
Gaming with the Broscast. It's all in the description.
Yeah, it's all there.
It's all there.
Nick, when do we want to do the Xenoblade?
Oh shoot.
Spoiler cast.
Do you want to do it next week? Do you want to do it before the show? Next Monday?
Yeah, we could do that.
Do like at 8?
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. We'll just record it. We won't go live or nothing. We'll just record and I think it's like 15 minutes maybe. Yeah, 15 minutes. I was actually just reading, just in case we were talking about tonight. I pulled up like the timeline and stuff, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah.
Oh, is this the first time you've like read like the?
I was gonna watch a video earlier, but like all the videos were like 40 minutes long for like the ending explained, and then I did watch OJ's review.
I watched his review after like.
Of course, he was high on. He's like, of course, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm like, yeah, dude, you got it, man. It's fantastic.
I mean, you put 200 hours into it. Of course, you liked it that much.
Well, it was so funny. It was so funny. He had like, it was like a week after launch or whatever, and he had like one of his live streams, and someone came in there. He's like, yeah, I'm over 100 hours already. He's like, cool, but he's like, what are you playing on? He's like, oh, I'm on like normal or easy or something. He's like, oh no, you gotta play hard mode. Like, don't if you were hard mode coming here at 100 hours, then you can have something to brag about. But it's easy at 100 hours. Nah, get out of here.
What a gatekeeper.
Such a troll, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah, but yeah, I was watching his review, and I was like, man, I kind of want to go back in and do some more stuff.
I know. I want to as well.
But we've got the DLC coming out, this month, I think?
The new Hero DLC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, did you get the pass?
No, I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay.
Just because I just started playing, I was like, no, I don't want to spend another $30 just in case I don't. But I made it. But I made it. And then we got Resident Evil. Right, you got Resident Evil, the DLC coming out, the 28th as well. So, God, so much stuff. So much stuff.
This is like the busiest month of my life too, because we're moving and doing all this stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't know when I'm going to find the time to play all these games. There's too much.
Yeah. Well, at least
I'll play the shorter ones. I'll play Plague Tale and Scorn.
I don't know. Plague Tale might be pretty long. I mean, the other one was like 15 hours maybe.
Yeah, 15 or so.
not super short, but I can't wait for that game. But
that's gonna be so good.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will like I said, we're not gonna go live next week with the Xenoblade stuff, but we'll record that prior to the next week's show, and I'll put it on a separate feeds, like we did Halo and the other games, so that way you guys don't have to worry about skipping through the chapters and stuff and worry about spoiling it for yourself, because again, the story is absolutely amazing in that game, and we would not want to spoil that for anybody, because it's
don't want to accidentally spoil anything.
It's really good. So I'll put that up sometime next week after the show. We put the normal show up, but yeah, again, appreciate everyone listening, and we will see you guys next week.
See y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.